New here at 6 o'clock, we are being told toll lanes are a virtual certainty on the southern portion of I-77 from mile marker 11 to the South Carolina state line. That stark reality coming into focus tonight.
Just one day after a local board voted to study options for how to add those paid lanes. WBTV Chief Investigative Reporter Nick Oxner live along I-77 right now. Nick, walk us through what you've learned today.
Yeah, Molly, this all started when a spokeswoman for NCDOT called our newsroom early this morning to tell us and clarify for us that any new lanes added to this section of I-77 that I'm currently riding in right now would definitely be paid toll lanes, not free lanes. Well, that was news to us, so I started digging, and as I started calling people, asking questions, it turns out it was news to them, too. When it comes to adding new paid toll lanes on I-77 between Uptown and the state line, it's a question of how, not if. Is that news to you?
It really is news to me. It surprised me. I thought it was still up for debate as to whether those roads were going to be managed or just a traditional widening.
State Senator Vicky Sawyer represents portions of Iredell and Mecklenburg County. She's also a top lawmaker on transportation issues.
I just had been told that it was an option. I didn't know that these tolls had already been scheduled since '07 or part of their planning process since then.
In a statement to WBTV Thursday, a spokesman for NCDOT said that because the Regional Planning Board first listed toll lanes on future plans back in 2014, that's what the state's been planning on ever since.
From my understanding, it looks like things are going forward with a toll lane.
Is there anything that you plan to do in Raleigh this session to try to change that?
I will look at every avenue possible to see what we can do. I do have issues with how we fit that needs with South Charlotte, with how we're going to pay for it.
Money is the big sticking point. Transportation planners say it would be decades before any money became available to add more free lanes. That choice between voting to study how to add paid lanes or waiting to add more free lanes is what Mecklenburg County Commissioner Lee Altman calls a complete non-starter. Altman is on the Regional Planning Board and voted to move forward with studying ways to add paid lanes, even though she said in her email to residents the notion of paid lanes, quote, offends her. Sawyer, the state senator, said she's committed to studying all alternatives to paid lanes as she works in Raleigh this session.
There's always an option for change in government. I think we get really good at that depending on political winds. How do we get the money for that? Is it tolling? I don't know, but I definitely will be on top of this from here on out.
Now, here's one really important point of clarification. Last night's vote by the Transportation Planning Organization was prompted by an unsolicited proposal from the private company Cintra that operates the currently existing I-77 toll lanes. But the vote last night by the board wasn't just to move forward with the Cintra proposal. It was to ask DOT to study all proposals that could bring paid lanes to I-77. So that's what NCDOT says they'll do. Meanwhile, we'll continue digging in onto what will happen and how can you improve your drive here on I-77. For now, reporting live, Nick Oxner, WBTV on your side.
Lots of good information there, Nick. Thank you.